Hello, this is Mick Moloney here in Bangkok in Thailand. It's very hot here today, it's over 100 degrees, but I'm from Ireland, and when I grew up it was often very rainy and very cold, so I'm not complaining ever about the heat. I'm going to play today on my favorite instrument, the banjo. This is the 4-string banjo. There are other kinds of banjos, 5-string banjos, even 6-string banjos. The 4-string banjo is the banjo used in Irish music. And it's been around for a long time in Ireland, and we have nearly 10,000 people playing this instrument. It's a beautiful instrument. This is made by the Vega company in America about 100 years ago. You can see the beautiful work on this, the inlay, and then on the back there's beautiful work, and here there's beautiful work on the neck. It's a beautiful instrument, every part of it. And when I heard it first played by a street musician in the city of Limerick, which is near where I grew up, I loved the sound of it. It had a happy sound and a kind of a wild sound as well. And I liked that. When I came to America, and I came 48 years ago, I've been in America for 48 years. I go back and forth to Ireland all the time. I learned about the history of the banjo, and I learned that it originally started out in West Africa, and it was carried to America by slaves. Now, they didn't carry literally the banjo, they carried nothing with them. But they carried the idea of an instrument that's still played in West Africa. It's either a vegetable gourd with a natural neck and then strings put on it, either horsehair or gut. Or it could be a wooden hoop, a simple wooden hoop with a simple neck and strings that are put on it as well, horsehair or gut, and played percussively by the right hand with the fingers for accompaniment for dancing or for singing. And it was mentioned a lot by writers about being a central part of African American life on the plantations and slavery. And then around the early 19th century, it was appropriated. And when I say appropriated, it was borrowed in a sense. But when you have one people that's very powerful, white people at the time, a lot of them Irish immigrants, taking an instrument from people who had no power at all, that qualifies as not just borrowing, but that's in a way almost stealing, appropriating. And we could talk a lot about that, but one way or the other, it became the dominant instrument in American music, folk music in the middle of the 19th century. And it was part of a very troubled and troublesome aspect of American life then, blackface minstrelsy, where white people, a lot of them Irish, pretended they were black, having a great time on the plantation, which of course nobody ever did, and singing happy songs. And it was minstrels, blackface minstrels, that carried the banjo to Ireland in the middle of the 19th century, and it's been around there every year. And apart from America, we're the only culture in the world where the banjo is a very strong part of our traditional music. Now, that happens in America too, but the only other place is West Africa. So it's an amazing story, but I don't think so much of the story is the beauty of the instrument itself. And I'm going to play you a few tunes now, and they're very old tunes. Nobody knows how old, maybe 150, 200 years. And I learned them in Virginia. I learned most of my music from other people listening to it. I don't learn it from books or from records mostly. I listen to other people playing, and if I like it, I learn it. And usually I learn it by just playing it. These are two tunes that I learned from a Virginia banjo player called Joe Ayers. And they're called The Rambling Boy and The Sprig of Shillelagh.